Here's a guide to help people do Kalivans dreadnaught. It's specifically aimed at healers, but if you're not a healer, you can watch anyway. It applies to all versions of the dungeon. Just remember that hard mode is a bit different. It has more mechanics. So before the battle starts, you want to get your battle nostrum as well as an onslaught attack speed scroll, because that shit's important for healers. You're not really going to be able to do much with a power scroll, so yeah. If you want to be a crit healer, that's fine too, you can use crit, but the majority of healers prefer to use attack speed, so I'd go with that. For this first part, you'll encounter a row of barrels. They look innocent, but they aren't. You want to prepare a heal for when your teammate just attacks them. They're not going to do any damage that's enough to kill anybody, but it will definitely hurt a lot. After that, you won't really have to heal much until you get up to the first boss. So the first boss, Peppero, hits really hard up close, but he lacks any range attacks, so you shouldn't die during this fight at all. You want to always be ready to heal the melee classes in your party because of how hard his melee attacks are. They hit a lot, so you really want to keep an eye on them. His slam attack deals a huge amount of damage. As you can see, our sorcerer just got murdered. It was a one-shot, so yeah. Don't ever stand in his face, really just don't. Also prepare your heals for the melees because they probably aren't going to see it coming and they're going to get hit. It usually won't kill any melee classes, but it will do a lot of damage, so just keep them healed. The boss also does a backflip every now and then. If you're directly behind him, you will get fucked, just dead for the most part. So to avoid this, you really want to stand at the boss's side. It's never a good idea to stand in his face, though stay at his side, you'll avoid nearly all of his attacks. And also don't be up close to him either. Keep at least 7 meters, I guess. I don't know, just stay at his side, you know? Just stay at the side. He'll also spawn mobs every now and then, and your DPS should just go and deal with this. Just remember to heal them. I usually forget to, because if they aren't in my line of sight, I'll just kind of whoop over my head. If you're a good healer, you'll use the health bars. I typically don't look at them because I'm kind of an idiot, but it's a good idea to just be ready to heal whenever. And yeah, keep an eye on your DPS. If you get locked on by a purple circle, then move the fuck out of the way just immediately, because you're gonna get hit really hard. You don't get a lot of time to react to this either, so the second you see that purple circle, move quickly. The boss will do line attacks every now and then. They're orange, and it always goes counterclockwise. It's easy to avoid it if you stand on the first place where he did it, just not as he hits you with it. After he's done it, just stand where the first one is. He won't do it in the same place, so you can just stand there and chill. You can also go clockwise around him. This will help you avoid it. Don't follow it and go counterclockwise, because then you'll get hit by everyone. I've seen melee people do that all the time, and I sometimes accidentally do it, so just try to avoid it. It usually shouldn't kill you unless you're hit by multiple ones of it, but if you just hit by one, you'll be fine. As a mystic, it's a good idea to spam motes always, just whenever you can. Just spam them all over the place. If you keep them in one area, then your party's probably not going to do very good, because this boss keeps everyone scattered all over the place, so you want to keep your motes scattered as well to fit that. Personally, I don't use mana motes often, because if you're using them for your party members to use, you will have no mana left. So typically if I'm going to use mana motes, I'll use them for myself, and that's about it. Maybe every now and then I drop one for someone else to use, but 90% of the time no one picks them up anyway, so it's a good idea to just keep off the mana motes. Other than that, try to reduce the boss's endurance. Mystics and priests both have a skill that you can reduce endurance with. It's only activated through a glyph though, so make sure you have that glyph. And as well as keep your power buff on. Both mystics and priests have a buff that increases power for a short amount of time. It's like 30 seconds. So you want to keep that up as well. Don't make that your number one priority though. Your number one priority should always be healing, and keeping endurance and buff should be secondary if you're not doing anything, if you're just sitting on your ass because your team's too good. But yeah, that's all for the